Oh, it's so dark in here. So it's another beautiful rainy day here in Atlanta. It's been raining for past week straight. So it's made for some beautiful summer weather in the sense that it's nice and cool outside, but when it rains outside, it's a good day to stay inside and read. And I know some of you are going to be jealous. Some of my friends who like to read always dream of the nice rainy day when you stay inside and read. And, well, that's a good thing. I'm going to enjoy that today. So I got my Bible reading today, just like every other day. Got that to knock out. But as I mentioned yesterday, I have to read a book today. Not read a book today, but it's one that I would like to read and I've wanted to read for a long time. And some of you are probably going to make fun of me for not having read all the way through. Now I have read half of this book. Now I'm actually going to finish the whole thing, and it's C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity. So sometimes I'm one of those people who, because everyone loves a thing, I kind of go against that thing. And for a long time, that's how I was on C.S. Lewis. I was like, man, everybody talks so much about him. I'm just going to either not read him or not like him. But that's kind of hard to do when you actually do read C.S. Lewis. And so I've come to fall in love with C.S. Lewis and understand why everyone loves him. So Mere Christianity is one I just have not gotten back to now that I'm a Lewis fan. And I'm looking forward to reading through this one today. I get so much inspiration from him and G.K. Chesterton. Those are two of my people. If I could be the most like, I would want to be like them. I would think for G.K. Chesterton's ability to break down a complex problem into its most simplest parts and explain those parts, he makes me see things in a much more simple way, even though his writing can be very complicated and very convoluted and can be difficult to understand sometimes. Sometimes you have to read a passage multiple times to really kind of capture what he's saying, but when you do, it's a much simpler view, in my opinion, and it's a much more accurate view. And so I like that a lot. C.S. Lewis, his ability to explain things clearly, he too can break things down very, very well and put a spin on things that sometimes you hadn't thought of. But he was a professor of Renaissance literature, and so he read all of the time. And I think the more you read, the better writer you'll be. The more you hear other people explain things, the better at explaining things you will be. And of course, a great thinker. You got to be able to sit down and think through and reason through things if you're going to try to explain them to other people. It's actually one of the tests to make sure that you understand something is to be able to actually explain it to someone else. And so these two guys combined, after I read them, I feel so inspired and I want to do more and I want to write more and think about the world around me more. So they truly inspire me. So I'm looking forward to this one. Like I said, the books that are on my reading list are not coming until tomorrow. I probably won't be able to finish this in one day, but I'll be able to make a lot of progress today, especially after reading such difficult material. Oftentimes when I read something that's a little bit easier to read or that I like more and more passionate about, I tend to read it much more quickly. So that's what's on the docket mainly for today. Additionally, the books, they're coming down today. I got to pack some boxes today. Probably won't be able to move them today because of all the rain. But I need to get some packed up because we got to get that process started. It just has to happen. And the other thing is visa. I got to start applying for my visa. So I looked up all my information yesterday. I pulled it all together, so I got to go through it and see what all I need, what the process is like. So I got to get that ball rolling, especially since I'm going to be leaving a little bit earlier than I had anticipated. But hopefully it won't be too long of a process. So we'll get that worked on today. So I'll check back in later in the day, as we go, as we're reading and see where we are. So today's been kind of a long day so far. Got my Bible reading done earlier, and been reading through C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity, like I talked about earlier. And that book's just kind of blowing my mind already. There's some thoughts that I've had recently that actually he kind of gets right into right at the beginning of the book. And so it's kind of inspired a couple of blog posts I want to write. So I'm going to be taking some notes from that later on today and maybe doing some writing. It's been a while since I've been able to write. MyPursuitOfTruth.com blog has been kind of neglected a little bit. As much as I want to try to sit down and write a bunch of posts and get them edited and get them posted, it's a much more difficult thing than I've thought. Normally what I like to do is set aside some time once a month to go and write, kind of accumulate ideas throughout the month, sit down once a month and write out all the posts for the ideas that I've had throughout the month. And I just have not been able to really nail that down. And it's really, my problem because I just haven't been good with my scheduling. It's still kind of tough figuring out life basically because things just kind of come at us from all different directions. I've been trying to figure that out. So in a little bit, I'm gonna start putting together some boxes and start getting these books packed away. There's quite a bit down on the floor, stuff everywhere. I think one of the first steps is going to be kind of getting all the different little tchotchkes and stuff off of the, stuff like this off of here, get it boxed up, and that way I can access the books and get them into boxes. So that's going to be happening here pretty soon. Just really kind of not feeling that motivated today, but I think it's because I haven't really felt like I've accomplished anything. When you have long-term goals, such as reading through the Bible in a year, sometimes it can be difficult to stay motivated because the goal or the payoff or the accomplishment is so far away. It seems like you're not making any progress when you're in the middle of it. So I've kind of found myself in the middle of that today. I've just been reading and reading and reading and reading and studying and haven't accomplished anything. And I have been accomplishing things and I have been making progress towards my goal, but it's kind of a psychological thing. I haven't felt like I've actually got to the top of the mountain. I've just been climbing and climbing. So I think if I can get some of this stuff down today, get it into boxes, I'll feel like, man, I've checked the box. I've got some stuff off my mind. I've got, made some accomplishments, made some progress. If I can get that done, maybe I can still push further in my studies tonight, or maybe I just need to take a break. I haven't quite decided yet. So we'll see how the rest of the night goes. I'm going to start kind of pulling some stuff down here and get some other things accomplished and done, and see where we end up. Right, so about to get started with the bookshelf breakdown. For those of you who don't know, I used to do another channel called Bookstack, and I haven't done anything on it in a long time, and I've really been kind of thinking about bringing it back because people were kind of impacted by some of the videos that I've done over there. They really did like them and appreciate them. So, I mean, who knows, I may revisit that channel one day. But part of the intro for Bookstack, when I moved into this apartment, I put these shelves up and put the books up, but I did it in a time lapse. So I got my camera set up right there, and I think I'm gonna do a time lapse of me breaking it down. Part just for posterity, part I guess maybe for closure to book in this thing. Who knows? So I'm gonna be doing that and see how it turns out. It's gonna be weird because I can't quite get the angle I did before because there's stuff in the corner now. Of course, before I could put the camera wherever I wanted to, and it worked out. So we'll see how it works out this time with this weird camera angle. And I'll probably put a montage together. I'm only going to do one shelf tonight. I'm not going to try to overdo my, try to overpromise and underdeliver here. So I'm going to capture it, probably put a montage together after I take all the shelves down. So we're going to get started. I think I'm done for the night. For those of you who don't know, books take up a lot of room. You can see here, right? We have eight boxes, and 8 boxes did almost one shelf. Still got some books down there at the bottom, although I did take some off of that stack there and kind of fill in some gaps. Beginning to wonder if I may be underboxed, so I'm gonna have to figure that problem out. Luckily, the place we are storing our stuff, they sell boxes pretty cheaply, so we're gonna see what we can do about that, because I have far more books than when we moved here, and we barely had enough boxes to move in. So kind of sad to see them go, and kind of miss my shelves, and they're going to be kind of bare for the next month and a half, so that's going to kind of stink, but it's going to be good. I've pulled out a couple that I know I want to take with me, so I got to keep looking out for that, but they're not going to be too far away if I need them. Anyway, I think that's probably all the packing I'm going to do tonight. Look up Visa stuff here in just a minute, get dinner started, get that ate, and see how the day ends up. All right, actually, we're going to wrap this video up here. We're going to end it. It's just, my wife and I needed to rest today, so we're going to take the rest of the evening and watch some Brooklyn Nine-Nine, hang out with Lucas, and try to get some rest before we really having to start to gear up here. So I'm going to wrap this one here, post it. You'll be seeing this one tomorrow, and thanks for watching. Like I always say, leave a like if you want, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how it goes. You can check out more at mypursuitoftruth.com. You can also find us at patreon.com/pursuitoftruth. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.